Will long-distance train service continue in America? What are Amtrak's plans for its long-distance rail service? The long-distance service routes of Amtrak include a portfolio of 15 long-distance routes, with each route running at least 750 miles from end to end and operating through 39 states. But these routes are expensive to operate, and during fiscal year 2020, the Amtrak National Network received a jaw-dropping $1.826 billion in federal support. Of this amount, $645 million, so almost half of the federal support, was needed to fund the operating losses on Amtrak's long-distance routes. Is this amount of loss sustainable? Let's take a look at what we know and see where Amtrak's long-distance train service in America may be heading according to Amtrak's 5-year plan. The LDSL, or otherwise known as the Long Distance Service Line, offers customers 3 classes of service. Coach class, which is available on all trains, offering 2x2 reclining seats, big picture windows, and access to power outlets at the seat. Sleeping class, or customers in private rooms, is available on all LDSL routes except the Palmetto. Customers traveling in private rooms, or first class it is also referred to, may enjoy several premium class amenities, including complimentary onboard meals, nightly turn-down service, access to private restrooms and showers, and entry into the Amtrak Metropolitan Lounges located at major stations. Business class is available on 3 of the LDSL routes, which are the Coast Starlight, the Lakeshore Limited, and the Palmetto, providing additional amenities such as a dedicated car and extra legroom. So, what makes the long-distance train customer unique? And how can Amtrak take advantage of this unique customer base? The LDSL customer profile is primarily driven by leisure travel, with fewer than 10% of the trips conducted for business. Overall, the LDSL demographic skews to be more female than male, and nearly a third of its customers are over the age of 65. But that means nearly 2/3 are younger than 65. But even within the LDSL, there are striking differences between the two primary classes of service, coach and sleeper car. While coach represents 82% of all of Amtrak's trips, private sleeper rooms account for 38% of the ticket revenue. In addition, the average trip in coach is on average about half of the long distance traveled by a customer in a private room, 457 miles versus 990 miles. So, as you can see, that the first class passengers are the customers where Amtrak can make the most money. So, do you think that Amtrak would be more profitable by offering more luxurious travel in the first class sleeper cars? What suggestions would you have for Amtrak for increasing ridership from leisure travelers and increasing revenues on its long distance routes? Hey, if you like this content, why not like and subscribe, as we plan to keep you on track with all things Amtrak. Amtrak's customers traveling on long distance routes will notice a number of new changes to their experience beginning in the fiscal year 2021. This begins with onboard dining. On routes in the West, traditional dining will be reimagined and reintroduced for both private room and coach customers, and this change was implemented starting last month. On routes in the East, menus for flexible dining and the cafe car will be refreshed to ensure customers have both variety and choice. New Viewliner 2 sleeping cars will be introduced on routes along the East Coast. These cars represent the first new Amtrak sleeping cars in 25 years. They feature a number of enhancements, including increased in-room luggage storage, improved lighting, twice the number of electrical outlets, and larger and sturdier tray tables for laptops, tablets, reading, and gaming. Customers in roomettes will find 2 private restrooms, and a shower down the hall, while customers in the accessible bedroom will have an automatic sliding door to access their room. Also included in Amtrak's 5-year plan are upgrades for the Superliner and the Viewliner interiors. Those cars will receive new cushions, new upholstery coverings, new carpets, curtains, light coverings, and deep cleaning in coaches, sleeping cars, and dining cars. These elements are designed to align with other recently completed interior refresh projects across the Amtrak fleet. This multi-year effort will ensure that customers enjoy a uniform level of quality across the long-distance network. Now, all of these upgrades I'm sure are sounding well and good. But what about getting to your destination on time? How important is that to you? Amtrak reports that its long-distance trains arrive on time a whopping 59% of the time. And that is just not good. So Amtrak has recognized that. The need for time performance is indeed an issue which needs to be addressed. So Amtrak's strategic plan states the following. One of the biggest challenges and risks we face is poor on-time performance, or the OTP, on many of the national network routes, which operates on tracks owned by its host railroads. Long-distance routes are particularly affected. Over the past several years, OTP on most of the long-distance routes has been abysmal. Those are Amtrak words, not mine. In fiscal year 2020, long-distance customer OTP was only 59%. On 4 of the long-distance routes, more than half of our customers arrived at their destination late. This creates a massive challenge to our strategy to attract and retain customers when we are simply unable to deliver the advertised service. The leading cause of delays to our national network of trains is freight train interference caused by the failure of some of our host railroads to comply with their long-standing legal obligation to provide Amtrak trains with preference over their freight trains. Only the U.S. Department of Justice has been able to enforce this law, and it has brought only one enforcement action against a freight company in Amtrak's history, and that was 40 years ago. What do you think about this? Should Amtrak be granted more authority to report and enforce its preference to use the track? Do you think this would help ridership and improve the overall customer experience? Another much requested feature, and one of the comments on a previous video of ours, was about flexible booking options and finding the best fares. Well, here is some good news. Amtrak intends to release later this year, so in late 2021, that we can expect Amtrak to update its online booking experience by presenting a 7-day calendar of available fares. Those of the requested date, as well as the lowest fare up to 3 days prior and 3 days following. In addition to offering customers more and potentially lower fare options with a single search, this solution will provide a better path for long-distance customers to find available travel dates on trains operating less than daily. Can we get a thumbs up for that news finally? And if you haven't seen our monthly video about fare codes and promo codes for Amtrak, please see that video next. So, as long as the federal government continues to help offset the cost of operating Amtrak's long-distance routes, the service seems to be stable for now, with Amtrak even making plans to improve their service over the next 5 years. Stay tuned for more updates as we provide you with news for travelers. This is Bob from Bucket List Cruise and Travel. Thanks for joining me.